Is it Tuesday?
It is Tuesday, October, I forget the date.
It's Tuesday, October something, I think 11th. I don't really remember. And we're in high voltage shooting stuff, kind of. We're setting up to shoot stuff. What we got, Steve?
Well, we have a tripwire alarm for the Barnes & Noble thing, but I'm not actually clear on how we can mount this so that
We'll mount it to...
tripping it,
Oh, I see. Well,
it needs to be facing this way.
could we just mount it with the back to this side? Because it would wrap around it still, but it would pull it if we tripped it from over here,
Yes, ma'am.
right? No, I meant literally. I meant literally put the back of the wood to the fence there.
Yeah, like this, right? That's what you meant?
Sure.
Is it what you meant?
No.
Damn it.
Alright.
There we go.
Are you okay? Like, you need help?
I'm okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of fiddly bits here. Okay, so wait, you mean have it mounted like I had it?
Gimme.
It's gonna fall. Okay.
That.
Oh,
Zip tie it to this with the back.
I suppose that would work, yes. There we go.
I think you would have to take the switch out. I guess you wouldn't have to. At any rate, we are doing a series of videos related to Maker Faire where we were asked to do a bunch of those.
We're booby trapping the high voltage line, Batman.
We were asked to do those type of BuzzFeed videos where basically it's just time-lapsing a project, and the tripwire was one of them. And so far we have shot everything up to actually mounting it and showing that it works via actually tripping a string. So that's what we're up to right now, with delightful misinterpretations abound.
Delightful misinterpretation? Oh, like what I just did?
Yes, we've had quite the track record in the other videos of not quite understanding each other, and it's been both aggravating and joyful. Mostly because it's amusing how we keep misinterpreting each other. It's been a very long week. We only had a week to do like 6 videos. We're still not done. You'll see more later. And the battery's already dying on this camera.
Yay!
We really need a new blog camera. I should look for new blog cameras.
We could hook it up to this car battery and just lug that around. Never run out of use. I don't think that would work. Please don't do that. It'll void your camera's warranty.
This camera's so old it doesn't have one.
This is true.
At any rate, we're going to set this up, and I'm going to find a new battery, and we'll be back when it's working to let you see. And here it is, mounted. And Steve is practicing tying a bow. Or knot of some sort.
See, it sounds silly, but you're supposed to tie it in such a way that it'll come undone after tripping the thing.
Yeah.
So
They're very adamant about not killing whoever trips it, basically.
I think I need to just tie regular knot on this side and a
Bow on that
bow
side.
on that side.
That's fine. Where's the horn?
Under my leg.
Oh.
I assume we need to film hooking that up though.
Nah, they got the point.
Nah.
They got the point when we made it. So this entire project was taking a scavenged car battery and a scavenged car horn and wiring it to a micro switch. So basically just teaching a simple circuit. So all we're doing right now is making sure everything's actually connected. And the idea is put string across the gate here because it's one of the prettier doorways of the lab right now, mostly because it's got a blue wall behind it. And then just film Steve walking across so that we actually trip the string and show that it works in situ. you just pinch yourself?
No, I did not just pinch myself. But this little wire that's hanging off
Stabbed you?
stabbed me, and it scared me. Startled. It startled me. Alright, this is hooked up, so if I wanted to, I could,
Oh, go for it.
close the door first.
Proceed.
Loud noise.
That echo might be a problem. You know what? I don't care.
Yep.
Technically, we don't even have to do this part because we already showed that the circuit works.
Yep.
So here, I'm gonna start setting up the shot. So the only two shots we need are you tying the string
And tying the other side.
yeah, I'm just gonna put the camera on the ground for that. And then we'll worry about getting the other shot as we go. I think we have enough height to just get it without the camera shaking all over the place. Wait for it to boot. I don't know if I should even bother not having the zip ties because we're basically gonna have to show it when it's zoomed out.
Is there a way to show without seeing the bottom of the board and how it doesn't connect to anything?
Maybe.
I don't mean covering it, I mean like framing.
Yeah, that's. Give me that metal thing right there. The one standing on end.
This? You don't want this.
Like,
It's heavy.
find me something to sit it on. It's heavy.
But it is.
It's heavy. I don't care if it's heavy, I care if it's stable. It's about as good as it's gonna get, though. I don't think it's gonna let me raise the f-stop. Yeah, it's on auto.
Well, you're zoomed in, so you can only go so high.
Yeah, we'll just use gain. I don't like using gain, but we'll use gain. So that's our shot.
Okay.
So we're gonna shoot now. We have the first knot tied. Steve's working on doing the second shot, which is tying the other one, because it's very specific about how you should tie a bow or something that will come away easily so that you don't break the neck of the person tripping. What?
I did this accidentally before. I tied it in such a way that it came out.
But it was nice and tight when you started.
Right, and then it came out, but I can't replicate that intentionally.
Well, we are technically ahead of schedule right now today, so
What time is it?
before noon still, I think.
Impressive. Man.
Or just
we should
after.
do this for a living.
But since getting the first two ending bit of the videos we started yesterday done was just like the goal or had the nebulous goal of kind of before lunch, I'm gonna say we're still on track because we have like this and two other shots to get. I think I'm gonna try and frame it so that you can see the entire setup as you walk by without cutting out too much of the string getting tripped at the same time. I think that'll be pretty easy to do. I'll just have to slide my jank little setup over a bit. We're getting there. If my camera would focus. It's not gonna focus. There it goes. Is it too long? I'll take that as a yes.
Well, I think I need 2 strands.
Mm.
Let's see here. Liz taught me the bunny ears method of tying shoes yesterday.
I don't even know what the other method is called. Is it a
Loop,
round?
swoop, and pull.
Ah.
Well, no, it's a double slip knot. But when I was a lad, that one Adam Sandler movie had come out, so everybody started calling it loop, swoop, and pull.
Mm. This is the thrill that is trying to do a blog right now.
So now, if somebody walks through this,
In theory, it breaks.
so now I get to retie it for video, right?
Yes. Yay.
Oh, which way should I walk?
Just in. It's fine. Wait. Back up further. You're in the shot. There. Go for it. And it's just now after lunch, and we're down to our last video where we're actually messing with Arduino. An Arduino Uno in this case. And Steve's learning where the wires, well, practicing where the wires go. Already kind of learned where they went. But what are we doing, Steven?
We're gonna make that servo motor move if you make this thing register a certain voltage 3 times.
So basically we're making a secret lock thing.
It's the stupidest secret knock in the world because the normal knock that people do is
And that's the base
that's the
program.
default.
The base program in the tutorial that you can kind of see here is just literally copy paste, and a normal knock is the default, though we can go in and change it if we wanted to. I like that you can see this light in the iPad.
Yeah.
But
It
we
wouldn't
say
be too hard to change. Like you could say, I want a loud knock, 2 soft knocks, and another loud knock, and that would be pretty easy to do.
yeah. I just enjoyed that we thought this one would be the hardest because this is literally the first either of us has messed with Arduinos before, and it turns out that the entire process may actually take less time than any of the other 6 or 5 videos.
I put it to you that since it's an Italian company, the plural of Arduino is Arduini.
Going by some of the cutesy pictures on their website, that would not surprise me just because it sounds cutesy. But yeah, basically all this is going to do is when you knock and you get the knock correct or incorrect, basically, the LEDs light up and the servo is supposed to, move ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I don't know what kind of thing this is locking that this little servo can open the lock, but I think it's supposed to be for like a jewelry box or something,
I was
or
going to say,
whatever.
since there's nothing that indicates that we need to actually unlock an object or a door with it,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that that's not my problem.
Yeah, to this author's credit, he did the bare bones of the project. Like, if you're going to make something that you want to open with a lock, it's up to you to figure out how to actually implement this. I respect that.
But basically, I described how we're mostly doing this, that top-down BuzzFeed style you see everywhere. So we have one of our NX5s up there, just looking down, which you can kind of see here. Sorry for all the light glare. But it's looking down on the board right now, and we may adjust the shot, but that's the base of where we're starting with this video. And then we have white just in case we need to cut to hide something messy or that. So really basic shoots, and other than trying to figure out the projects themselves, they've actually been pretty easy once you get going. I think our worst one has actually been the Slinky phone. And that was only because it took a lot of finicky soldering and stuff.
And red wire to 5 volts. Do I have a brown?
An actual, like, brown wire? You have some brown looking ones.
Yeah, I'll use
Maybe.
that.
I might want to call that goldenrod, but it can be brown.
I'm not yet convinced that I don't have enough black, or that I have enough black wires, so I'm just gonna err on the side of having too many leads, or whatever these are. I'm gonna call them leads.
I'm pretty sure no one will care if we just have a pile of them sitting there. There are so many things in these videos I'm more worried about them caring about. Like the drips of solder on some of them. I'm not saying you're at fault. I'm just saying I'm a little worried they'll care.
It's a rather amorphous surface, so what you could do is have the solder drip into nothingness. Just whoop, whoop, whoop.
This was basically your first time soldering. So
This was absolutely my first time soldering. The first time I ever touched a soldering iron was Saturday.
I'm still going to justify it with, well, these videos are for kids, so they may actually feel good that the person doing the soldering is doing it about as well as they could to start.
Let's see.
These are such cute little
Piezo's
boards.
red wire to one leg, into the other one. Connect the black wire to the ground rail. Good. And the red wire to Arduino pin A0. Get out of there.
Man, the white balance on this camera is going.
Yay.
We really need to see about another blog camera, or just start using the Avarios or something.
Does he have a drawing of... I have to look at his picture from the top. Looks to me like he's tying in... Okay, no, he isn't. I don't think I need this one.
Okay. I guess we'll find out when we go to test it for the first time.
Because it would, I assume, I've never used a breadboard either. I'm not an electronics person. But I believe that the power and the negative are connected across.
Well,
We'll find out.
so we're in the middle of doing this and we're not sure what's wrong yet, but
It's just reading knock after knock after knock, so I did something wrong with the piezo.
yeah. We've just had the servo doing this, and we just finally brought up the serial monitor to see if it said anything, and it just tells us the box is unlocked and locked over and over and over again. So
That's what that is.
did I mention that this is our first time with Arduino? So now we have to figure out what we did.
Well, what we should do is raise the minimum.
I guess.
How do I stop this? Do I just unplug it?
Sure. We're gonna have to recompile it when we change it either way.
Okay. So I can say, where the fuck is it? I can say quiet knock is like, well, what's written on these? 9 to 15 volts.
So maybe say 20 and see what happens.
But if it only goes from 9 to 15, I don't actually know what those numbers refer to. I don't know if they're volts or not. 1 second. Let's find out.
Well, it stopped.
Computers. What the?
0 more knocks to go. 1 more knock to go.
All right.
So it thinks we're knocking somehow when we're not. There's no way it's picking up you just like moving
Oh,
in your...
shit. Helps if it's plugged in.
So
It's reading knocks at 25 and 26 volts, just constantly. So I did something very wrong.
okay.
I wonder if I have a bad resistor.
Possible, I guess. Would it be the mega ohm?
Yeah, that's the older one. I have another one somewhere.
Well,
First off, we unplug. Hang on or not, this is a mega ohm, right? I read this right? I mean, the box said mega ohm, but I also had to...
you can't see it from there, let alone.
I also had
There's
to-
no way this camera.
We'll focus on the stripes. It's got brown, black, green, gold.
Yeah, it's mush to this camera, whose battery is also dying. So, we're going to keep trying to figure this out. I'm sure we will, but that's where we're at right now. And we're back on the next day, so the 12th. It turns out that we actually had everything wired up correctly, and the problem was that the tutorial was actually not very good at explaining the code, meaning mostly that it didn't. It just told you to copy and paste it. But Steve managed to, after both of us searched the internet, find something in the Arduino forums.
Turns out that this project is actually project number 12 in the Arduino starter kit. And a lot of people have had the exact problem we did, where when you just copy paste in the code, the motor will just go because one, there's no delay, so it's just instantly resetting. Two, it never starts looking for new knocks because it doesn't reset number of knocks to 0. And most importantly, it's only moving, it's writing the degrees to 0. So it's not, I wrote it to 30 so that it actually visibly moves and then moves back.
So, yeah.
Also, one other thing, our, that, I don't know exactly why, but that thing does not generate enough voltage for the project that we're doing.
But we have other ones.
Yeah, so I'm using one of the little bare ones. I suspect that if I could find a way to wire up just the innards of it, it would be fine, but those leads are too short and I don't want to solder anymore.
So, yeah, it was mostly just a hiccup based on, I guess, bad writing. Not even bad writing, kind of lazy writing, because it didn't try to teach. This is clearly a project for kids just starting out with Arduino.
Yeah.
But they made no attempt in this particular tutorial to teach them what the code means or anything, or like, other than like sensitivity of knocks, how to change the code and why you would do it that way.
Yeah.
But
Which, to be fair, might be a good introduction to the world of open source software.
I guess,
You,
but
you want an explanation?
I assume this PDF came from an actual book you pay for, though.
Right.
So that's a little weird. At any rate,
Or they're selling Arduino starter kits at, whatchamacallit.
I guess. At any rate, we're going to quickly redo the build part of this, which, I don't know, even when you were just kind of referencing the thing, it took like not even 20 minutes to get this far.
Plus, I'm putting the LEDs in just direct to ground now, so that's less lead that I have to worry about anyway.
Okay. Well, we are going to get going then. So, We'll be back. Are you just trying to get them to lay flat?
Let's try to get them to lay perpendicular.
How dare they not?
Like, getting them parallel to each other is easy. Getting them to line up with the frame.
I don't know, I think it looks okay. I think that looks good.
Anything else?
No, I think you can start rolling. What?
My pile of already ready to go elements. All right.
Is that rolling?
Roll on green.
And that's actually the shoots. It's it's actually 3 days, not counting Sunday, so 3 or 4 days since we shot that last video. Turns out when you say you'll do 6 videos in a week, even when they're not terribly hard, it can take a lot out of you. So I actually didn't finish the blog that day because I was running on fumes. But the videos are done, and they are shipped to the people that wanted them, and we have a nice bit of money to live on for a little bit. So yeah, they were definitely interesting and different to make, and I'm pretty happy with them. It was a nice change of pace. I just didn't expect it to take so much out of us, but it was a learning experience. If nothing else, I now know that those many videos in the timeline we had, which was about a week, tiny bit more, is a bit too much for 2 people to take on. So I know to plan more accordingly in the future, but the money was really nice. So it takes a bit of the pressure off, and hopefully doing that sort of work shouldn't have to happen in the future, which is something I want to actually talk about with you guys. Essentially, we've been working for a while to get to a place where we're more consistently doing videos, and we're doing the videos that you want to see, and that's sort of why the Patreon was set up, so we can collaborate together. And to see the Patreon page grow, I'm going to ask here, what's something you guys want to see? Like, you can already see the perks there if you just visit the links in the description. And if none of that interests you, well, what kind of things would you like to see? And we can start working to do that, because we don't want to make this like a page where we're trying to just expect free money. Essentially, we actually want to make sure that you feel like you are getting the experience you want out of it, starting with doing more blogs in general and stuff like that. But there's obviously stuff that as patrons you might want to also see that are special to you. So I am opening up the forum for ideas. If you are a patron, or if you think you could be one day, what do you want to see? Comment below. And an update on Patreon events. We are planning some live streams for editing and animating this week, and I'll post the link to the general event calendar for Patreon below. We'll probably do a Q&A, if not this week, next week. And yeah, that's basically the day. I just wanted to show what we've been up to, because it's been very different from what we are usually doing. And to say we're not dead and we haven't forgotten you guys, things have just been nuts. So until then, catch you later and have a good one.